Welcome to Great Northern Cascade Division in N-Scale. A little short video of doing lighting valances. So I started to put that up around this upper deck. I've got all kind of around behind me and then down along this main center peninsula. So it's probably about, I don't know, 40 so feet of lighting valance. Doesn't make a huge difference. It takes the glare out from those lights and they're not kind of shining straight into your eyes. It does kind of hide the wiring and stuff as well. So really happy with how it turns out. Not 100% finished. I do need to put some kind of backer board behind it on the joins, and then I'll need to go through and do the filler on the join, sand it, paint it, all the fun stuff like that. Same with the skyboards, which you might be able to see. Another short little video doing the skyboards, and same thing. There's no filling in the joints and sanding and painting those and stuff like that. Just want to kind of go through and show an update as I have this in place. So please do subscribe, like, and follow along. Let me know what you think. I'm going to try and make a little bit more progress. I might do a little bit more on the other side of the layout as well with these lighting valances, if I can get a couple more sheets of this 1/8 inch tempered hardboard. But hopefully you enjoy this one, and we'll be back again soon. Alright, so exactly the same as previous video I did the skyboards. The lighting valance is this 1/8 inch tempered hardboard. Get these in 8x4 foot sheets. I cheated and had Home Depot, the hardware store, rip those into 3 sections just under 16 inches wide, and then on table saw at home, once they were a little bit more manageable lengths, I then ripped those down further to right at 5 inches a piece. So the lighting valance is going to go along the top here, and basically what it'll do is it'll just shield those lights. So they are already in kind of a material, so it's not super duper bright, but it is distracting, and it does also cast some weird shadows. So I'm hoping that once we get the lighting valances on around, then that kind of weird shadow effect has gone. Interestingly, I'm not seeing the same kind of shadowing and blue tint as much with the skyboards in place. I'm actually just noticing that now. The walls themselves are actually kind of a very light grey. They come across as blue. And that's not really the case in person. There's not really any blue at all. The lights are 500 Kelvin cool white. So I've got another video where I installed the first 120 feet or so of lights on that upper deck. So I'm going to go ahead and get the lighting valance started, just to kind of see what it looks like and how it starts to cut out some. Alright, so this is the first of those lighting valances up, and kind of got the camera just so that you can see the lights on the other side, and it really does cut out a whole bunch. I'm standing 7 feet probably away from this actual benchwork, and so then once we start to actually step in close, it's really making a big difference. Can't see the lights at all. They're hidden behind that lighting valance. All we have now is just straight into the scene, the skyboards, and then we have the top of that lighting framework that was painted white. Now, one thing that you might already be saying to yourself is you haven't painted the back of the lighting valance white. That's correct, I haven't. 1, I'm lazy, and 2, I'm not entirely sure what would happen with painting the back of the lighting valance. The tempered hardboard, this is the back of it, so there is like a smooth, shiny side to it, and the back of this is very, very rough. I don't know how well that will take paint. I don't know how much paint that would soak in, to be honest. I could look into that, but I'm going to take the easy route. I want to see what it looks like without doing any of that. I can easily, time consuming, I can easily still, get behind it and run some paint along there if I want to. It wouldn't be hard to do with a paintbrush. So I'm going to do it this way first and just kind of see what it's like on the first set of lighting valances on this side. And then I might do a test, and when I do the other side, I might paint the backs of those white, just so I can kind of compare. But at least for now, this is making a huge difference. I am kind of surprised at just how much of a difference it makes. So I'm going to crack on and get the rest of the lighting valance done on this side, and then all the way on the center peninsula. Real quick, starting out here, because I know that this length of bench work, before you have the sides coming up, is 6 feet. It's actually an 8-foot length in total, or just under 8 feet, but then these other modules come out. So I knew that I had 6 feet in total. So we had an 8-foot length of that lighting valance, marked the middle for 4 feet, and then marked the middle of the bench work for 3 feet. And so then tacked it with just a couple of those 18 gauge nails from the nail gun, and then could work my way down, figure out what kind of radius I wanted there, and then again tack it through, come around, get the radius on the same side there, tack it down. And so now I know I'm right in the middle and I've got the same radiuses coming around. Not really that big of a deal, but I just thought it was a little bit easier to start it out from there. Kind of like with the skyboards, what I then will need to do is go through with some filler on all of the joins, fill it, let it dry, sand it down a little bit. Once it's painted, you won't know the difference. So I'm going to crack on and get the rest of these valances done, and then we'll come back and take a look and see what it's like. Alright, so lighting valance is done. Well, at least on the upper deck on this side. So, got to a little bit around the corner if we come down to the kind of end cap on this center peninsula. So, yeah, we can kind of stop right around there. But otherwise, now this makes such a huge difference, just to kind of frame everything off with that valance. And that's kind of what we're doing. We want to put a picture frame almost around the scene that we're creating for the model railroad. Cuts out a whole bunch of the glare from the light, cuts out a whole bunch of the different shadows that were there on the light. We do now just have more wood, so we're just continuing this idea of having a wooden empire down here, but at some point it will start to change, I promise. Alright, so in terms of painting this, I've seen some people that do like a CTC green, like an olive green kind of thing. I might do black. I have used black for fascia on N-track modules and T-track modules that I have, and I think that looks very sharp. It does help. Again, you want to create that picture frame effect for the scene that you're building for the model railroads. So I'm a little bit undecided as to exactly what color I'm going to do. I'm kind of leaning towards black though. Not going to do that right now. That might be a good one-handed job that I can do when I'm kind of recovering from elbow surgery. But at least for now, kind of I wouldn't say proof of concept. I knew this was kind of going to work, but I guess the first stage of getting the backdrop, the skyboards, lighting fascia in place, lighting valance in place. So a couple of things that I do still need to do. Again, I don't know if I'm going to do them right now. On the joins right here, need to have a little bit of a backing plate, not too long, just kind of, I guess, what, 1.5 to 2 inches, just to kind of hold those together. So where the joins are kind of the same over here, need to have a backing plate in place there just to kind of hold the two together, and then go through and do all the joints. That's something that I'm going to leave. Like I say, I'm not going to paint this right now, but I will need to do that kind of backing plate, fill the joints, sand them, and then we'll be able to go ahead and paint them. They're all things that, you know, I could do one-handed after surgery at some point over the summer. So next kind of on the list is I do actually have a whole bunch of track in those boxes. I do have track and turnouts and roadbed and stuff to start looking at laying out the track around this section. So this upper deck is King Street Station and Union Station. King Street Station was for the Great Northern and Northern Pacific, and then literally just a block or so to the east was Union Station, which would be where Milwaukee Road would come into, Union Pacific would have come into as well. So that's kind of what some of this plywood here is for as well, to start to go in here. I don't know if I'm going to actually start fixing any track or connecting into track power and stuff like that, but I've got track plan for this, so I just kind of want to lay it out and start to figure out cutting the sub-road bed and things like this. But at least for now, lighting valance up. Not completely finished, but they are at least up. They do make a huge difference. I'm very happy with how all of this looks now. So please do like, subscribe, follow along. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you've painted the backs. Again, like I said, I haven't painted the backs of these white. They are just that kind of rough finish on the tempered hardboard. Then we need to seal it first before painting, and let me know what your thoughts are there. And then yeah, hopefully we'll be back to have a little bit of a look before I go for surgery to kind of see at least a little bit of track laid down, not fixed, but at least laid down, so start to get some kind of idea of the stations. All right, thanks for watching. Take care. Bye-bye.